The second hearing this week in Reagor-Dykes' bankruptcy case takes only a few minutes. Each issue on today's docket passes on to hearings in mid-October.
Filings pour in frequently. Today's batch includes a notice from the Department of Motor Vehicles informing Reagor-Dykes' chief restructuring officer of about 100 consumer complaints. Most of these complaints deal with titles not being transferred. DMV attorneys are asking Reagor-Dykes to identify consumers who've purchased a vehicle from the auto group but not received their titles. The state indicates it wants to transfer titles to these, quote, innocent purchasers. The DMV cites precedent indicating the title for any vehicle held as collateral passes to the innocent purchaser at the time of enforceable sale. First Bank and Trust files a lawsuit against Reagor-Dykes and several individual defendants, claiming the auto group has defaulted on loans, conducted floor plan financing fraud, and perpetrated a check-kiting scheme.
The bank is seeking more than $1 million in relief. Our Megan Reyna with multiple accusations First Bank levies against the auto group, its former CFO, and another bank. Megan?
Well, it's a hefty list. The lawsuit filed in the 72nd District Court is against Reagor Auto Mall, Reagor-Dykes of Levelland, Reagor-Dykes Imports, FirstCapital Bank, Bart Reagor, Rick Dykes, former CFO Shane Smith, former Reagor-Dykes controller Sheila Miller, FirstCapital Bank CEO Brad Burgess, and FirstCapital Bank Chairman Kenneth Burgess. In the lawsuit, First Bank and Trust claims it provided a $1 million loan in September 2017 to renew an existing floor plan line of credit at Reagor-Dykes location in Levelland. It also reports approving a separate $2.5 million loan for Reagor-Dykes Imports in Lubbock. First Bank and Trust claims some of its collateral at the Levelland and Imports dealerships has been sold, is missing, or has been double pledged. According to the suit, out of 40 vehicles on its Levelland floor plan, 21 have been sold but are still floor planned. First Bank indicates that allows Reagor-Dykes to continue getting financing for those vehicles while avoiding or delaying payment to First Bank. It claims the amount owed for these 21 vehicles is more than $420,000. Additionally, one vehicle cannot be found with, quote, no explanation as to its location. That's $31,000 the bank claims it's owed. First Bank and Trust also claims there's 7 other instances of double flooring within the Levelland inventory. The suit goes on to claim out of 101 vehicles on its imports floor plan, 43 have been sold but are still floor planned, a value of more than $1 million. It claims 6 vehicles are missing, worth more than $69,000. First Bank and Trust claims 13 vehicles were double floored at the imports location. As of September 7th, Reagor-Dykes owes First Bank and Trust more than $3 million, according to the lawsuit. First Bank indicates that exceeds the value of the remaining inventory collateral. First Bank and Trust also claims Reagor-Dykes and several of the defendants were involved in a check-kiting scheme. According to this filing, it claims Reagor-Dykes and its former CFO Shane Smith perpetrated a massive fraud. The accusations include selling vehicles out of trust and not paying First Bank for its loan made against such vehicles, failing to pay off loans already secured by trade-ins, and conducting a multi-million-dollar check-kiting scheme. First Bank and Trust also claims former Reagor-Dykes CFO Shane Smith tried to cover up a multi-million-dollar check-kiting scheme. The bank claims when Reagor-Dykes' account was overdrawn, Smith would tell the bank the company was paying off vehicles and the money would be coming soon. First Bank claims Smith intended to make sure the bank kept providing credit to Reagor-Dykes, including a request for more time, just a week before, quote, the check-kiting scheme blew up. The lawsuit also identifies Sheila Miller, Reagor-Dykes' former controller, as a member to the fraud. Along with its claims against Reagor-Dykes, First Bank and Trust levels conspiracy in aiding and abetting fraud accusations against FirstCapital Bank. First Bank and Trust claims the bank and its CEO and chairman agreed to take advantage of insider information from Rick Dykes by freezing and setting off Reagor-Dykes funds. First Bank and Trust claims FirstCapital sent checks from Reagor-Dykes' First Bank and Trust account for payment, even though FirstCapital knew the money wasn't there. First Bank and Trust claims FirstCapital and its leaders led to nearly $1.6 million in loss. In a statement released after this filing, FirstCapital Bank calls the lawsuit fundamentally flawed and without merit. Quote, any allegation that FirstCapital Bank of Texas or its officers participated in a check-kiting or other fraudulent scheme is patently untrue and will be proven as such in a court of law.
At every step, we have acted in accordance with good banking practices and in the best interest of our shareholders, customers, and depositors. We will continue to do so, end quote. Megan Reyna, Fox 34 News at 9.